Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope you're all safe and dry this wet Thursday morning.
At the moment, yes.
Yes. I'm debating whether it's going to hail today because my car's sitting outside and I'm a little bit nervous, but we put it behind us, you know, it is what it is. All right. You can see Beatrice and Colin loading. How did you guys go on Tuesday? How did you go on Tuesday, Sabina?
Yeah, quite good. Okay. What I have got an issue with, which I've identified, is coordination. You know, when you do right heel out and left hand, I tend to do the same thing. Yeah.
And then
I've got to stop and think. My brain has to. So I've identified that, and I've got to work on that one.
I'll have to add in some, you know, cognitive tasks, some multitasking.
Yeah, but I was okay with the measurements, you know, that we actually did. So I sort of fell within the range of that. So that was quite okay.
Oh, that's great to hear. And did you end up practicing after last week? We did the
getting up off the floor.
Yeah, getting up.
Yes, yeah. And I did that because I won't kneel on my knees, but I did. Yeah. I had 2 goes of doing that, and I ended up with very sore knees afterwards. So I will not use that option. I will do what I normally do, is on my side and get up. So I just don't want to put that pressure on my knees to give myself any potential you know, injury later on.
Yeah, and you got the email, okay? Because there's 2 options.
Oh, a bit of lightning going through here.
There's a technique to get up using your arms, so pushing up. So you can also use that. So it's good to know there's a few options.
That's right. Yes.
I found one that works for you. Beatrice and Colin, how did you guys go with the getting up off the floor techniques? Did you try them?
Yes, I did it. I did it on the bed though. I was
good.
The option, yes. With the arm out and then rolling over and then up onto the bed. Yeah, I didn't have
some of those strategies and figure out how your body works. With, you know, you can find your own pattern.
Yeah, I found the one on the floor with using the arms rather difficult.
Very difficult. It is one of the harder ones. Even when I was looking at it, I went, "This is quite. It's completely arm strength. You know, you have to push yourself up." So it is definitely a harder one, but as long as you have your own strategy, that's great. And how did you go on Tuesday, Beatrice and Colin?
Oh, what, stretching?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gradually got there eventually after stretching a few times.
Yeah, good. Yes, because I remember, Colin, you have tight hamstrings.
That's right.
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to continue with our Tuesday stretching today. So as always, I'll give you a bit of education and then we'll jump into the exercise, and then we'll do some releasing at the end. So today's all about fascia and why it's important. So what is myofascial release, which is basically what you guys were doing on Tuesday, but I'm just going to do a quick recap. So myofascial release is in an area where there's fascial dysfunction is occurring. The fascia cells become kinked, dehydrated, and that can be caused by muscle strain or overuse, poor posture over time, immobilization, trauma, and inflammation. So has anyone heard of myofascial, maybe trigger points or knots before?
No.
No. Have we felt any maybe knots in our back, like a bit of a muscular tight tension? That's sort of what we're going into today. So these are tender spots in bands of muscle that produce pain. So these trigger points can prevent proper function of the muscle by limiting the full range of motion and weakening movement. So, for example, you might have a knot in the back in your lower back, and that can prevent you from fully rotating around, from bending over. You might find that you're a bit stiff and you can feel that muscular tightness. It's one of the reasons why people see a lot of like remedial massage therapists to get those knots kinked out. Basically, today I'm going to show you how you can do that in your own home, just as an acute treatment. So the purpose of the myofascial release is to soften and lengthen the connective tissue. So it's at the moment in the knots, it's getting quite tight and bundled up. And by placing pressure on the fascia, the substance within these cells can be converted from gel to a liquid. So we're going from that like tight little knot, and then as we trigger point it and stretch it out, it becomes long and the muscles are able to move in their range of motion. So we have a sponge analogy. So imagine the fascia cells are like a sponge. If incorrect pressure is sustained on a certain area of the body, e.g., for example, like through poor posture, those cells will become dehydrated and the sponge will go hard and rigid. So when an external force is applied to the fascia, the sponge rehydrates and the fiber in the sponge become more elastic and more flexible. So just as a quick outline, we're going to go into a warm-up, we're going to do some strength, and then at the end, we're going to do some myofascial release. And I've got with me just some examples of how to release. So standing on a bit of foam, stretching out like your foot fascia. We've got some lower body moves. This is the calf exercise, the calf stretch we do at the end. And then some more at the bottom. So that's your hamstrings being released there, and that's the stretch. And I'll send through this again through an email because it's a bit hard to see online. So I'll make sure I'll send you the information of this. But if you all want to jump up, we're going to get into this exercise. I'll just put you guys on mute and we can get started. All right. All right, to start us off, can we do our breathing exercise? So make sure you've got enough room. Big breath in, arms come up overhead. At the top, big breath out, slowly releasing, arms come back down. Good, remember in through your nose and out through your mouth. So nice and slow, nice and controlled, big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Big breath in, and this time at the top, we're going to bend forward. Big breath out, bending forward, letting our body hang down. And big breath in, standing up, coming up, arms stretch up, big breath in. And again, bending forward, breathing out. See if you can go a little bit lower this time. And standing up, big breath in. All the way up, reaching up, stretch your body high, big breath out, going down. All right, standing up, guys, can we go into our shoulder rolls? So just standing where we are, we're going to roll our shoulders backwards. So rolling shoulders backwards, going up, behind, and down, up, behind, down, good. And we're going to go into our thoracic rotation. So arms across our chest, feet staying still. We're just twisting our upper body, looking over our left shoulder, breath in. Coming back to the middle, breathing out. Big breath in, look over to the right. Big breath out, back to the middle. And each time, I just want you to look a little bit further and then back to the middle. So see how far you can look over. And we're going to do this for a few times, so keep going. Once more, last one. All right, from there, hands on hips. Can we walk on the spot? So now we're just warming up our body, starting to move it. Walking on the spot. And then we're going to go into our heel tap. So left heel tap, back together walking. Right heel tap forward, and then back to your walking. And we're going to just change between left, walking, and then right heel tap, and back to walking. So just change it up, left, and then right. And keep walking that whole time. Good, guys. Good, a few more seconds. All right, from there, we're going to take 2 steps forward, 1, 2, squat, and then 2 steps back, 1, 2, and then squat down. 1, 2, squat, 1, 2, squat. Good, so now we're starting to move the body in a multi-joint compound movement. Warming up our lower limbs, our upper limbs as well. Great, guys, a few more of these. All right, from there, we're going to go into our high knee marching. So if I turn on the side, you can see that my knees are going up quite high. So we're going to do this one. If you need to, hold on to a chair, hold on to your wall, but try and get those knees up as high as you can. All right, can we go into our bum flicks? So flicking our legs behind us, trying to tap your bum with your heel. Again, you can hold onto a wall while you do this, holding onto a chair, whatever helps. All right, from there, we're going to go into our arm circles. So make sure you've got enough room, arms out by your side, small circles forwards, getting bigger and bigger. And big as you can go, making sure that you're just moving in a pain-free range of motion so it doesn't cause any pain. Good, so big stretch up and go back smaller and smaller as you go on until they're tiny circles, and shake your arms out. And then can we go arm circles backwards? So going backwards this time. Good. Bigger and bigger as you go on until they're big circles. Great. So warming up our shoulder girdle here. All right, shake your whole body out. That is our warm up. So if you want to grab a quick drink, we're going to go into our first round of exercises. All right, so our first exercise will be a lower body exercise. I'm just going to fix my camera. So we're going to be working our hamstrings, which is the back of our thighs. Well, our first exercise will be a straight leg deadlift. I'm going to show you 3 options of how to do this, and I want you to choose the best way for you. So your first option is to have hands on hips or one hand on the chair, and all you're going to do is stick your bum back. So that's all it is. It's just a hinge movement. So one thing to remember, I've got a small bend in my knees. My knees aren't blocked. So I've got a small bend in my knees and I stick my bum back. Stand up. And you should feel a little stretch on your hamstrings. So that's option 1. Option 2 to make it a little bit harder is to grab your dumbbells. Have the weight on your legs, so next to you. And from here, we're still doing that hinge movement. And my arms are rolling down my legs, so they're nice and close. And back up. Going down and back up. And everyone will have a different length of flexibility, so I just want you to go until you feel that stretch in your hamstrings. If you can't feel it, stick your bum back to the wall a little bit more. So a little analogy is if you've got shopping bags in your hand and you're trying to close your car door, you gotta hit it with your bum. All right, and our third option to make it again a little bit harder and add a bit of balance, a balance component to this is our single leg deadlift. So holding onto the chair, holding onto your wall, one leg goes behind. And we've practiced this a few times. So you've got three options. You can do one, sticking your bum back. You can do two, holding onto weights, or three on a single leg. And we'll do a few rounds of this so you can change on each leg. So I want you to find your option. I'll just get my stopwatch. All right, I'm going to start with the dumbbells, but you can do any level you want. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good. Back up. So we're going to do this one for 45 seconds. And by the end of it, you should feel a nice stretch on your hamstring. So then with this exercise, I want you to take your time as you go down, stick your bum back, and come back up. At the top, I want you to squeeze your glutes together, squeeze, and then back down. Great, guys, we're going to do one more. All the way down and back up. All right, shake your legs out. All right, for our next one, we're going to be, you can do this one again 2 ways. So I'm going to show you the options and then you want you to choose. Our next one is called a hamstring curl. So again, we're working that same muscle, the hamstrings at the back of our leg. You can do this one standing. This one is the kicking one. So we're curling back up. Or you could do this one seated and you'd have your legs straight and curl in. And curl under the seat. So you've got 2 options there. All right. All right, I'm going to do this one standing. And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, off we go. And we're just going to choose one leg to start off with. Great, so I want you to squeeze your muscles together and then slowly back down. So squeeze, back down. Up, and then down. Good, few more seconds here, guys. We're going to do 2 more. So 2, up, squeeze, back down. Last one, squeeze, back down. All right, we're going to do the other leg. So getting ready. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So I'm holding my leg up and I'm holding for 2 seconds. 1, 2, back down. So make sure you're giving yourself a good squeeze and then back down. Good. And you're not just dropping your leg, you're controlling your leg weight on the way down, okay? Looks great, guys. A few more. Last one, and resting there. All right. for our next one, you'll need dumbbells. So we're going to do a calf raise into dumbbell curls. So what you can do with this one is, option one is doing it without holding on. So you're going to go into a calf raise. So that's just up onto your tippy toes, back down, and then a bicep curl up and down. Tippy toes, bicep curl, okay? And then if you don't want to go onto your tippy toes, you can go one leg at a time. So you've got that option. All right, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Up onto your tippy toes, back down, bicep curl up and down. So up and slowly back down, and then your bicep curl. Good, so now we're working our calf muscles, which are the small muscles at our lower leg. Good, few more. Up onto your tippy toes, slowly back down, bicep curl. I reckon this will be our last one, up onto your tippy toes, bicep curl. All right. Our next exercise is also a combo exercise where we're doing 2 movements at once. So it's a sumo squat to a calf raise pulse. So a squat is what we did in the warm-up where we squat down. A sumo squat is where our legs are a little bit wider and you still do that squat movement. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a large squat, and then we're going to go onto our tippy toes, our calf raises for 10 pulses. So you're going to go squat, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up onto your tippy toes. And then we're going to go into that big squat. All right? So getting ready, guys. We'll get the timer set. And off we go. 1 big squat, back up. Now up onto your tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 1 big squat all the way down. And again, back up onto your tippy toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 big squat, back up and up onto your tippy toes. So you should start to feel your calf muscles working now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last one, 1 big squat, standing back up, and 1, up onto your tippy toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, shake your legs out. Are we starting to feel that in our calves? All right, we're going to do that whole circuit again. So we're going to start with the deadlift. Option 1, sticking your bum back. Option 2, you have your dumbbells sliding down your legs. And option 3, you go into that single leg. All right, so getting ready, choosing your levels. I'm going to do the dumbbells. And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So going down, back up. Good, so take your time with this exercise. This one is a slow exercise as you go down, and then fast on the way up, squeezing your glute cheeks together. Great job, guys. We're going to do 4 more. 4. And you've got 3 more left. And last one. All right. Now we're going to go into our calf raises and our bicep curl. So using your dumbbells, we're going to go up onto our tippy toes, back down, bicep curl, all right? And off we go. Up onto your tippy toes, back down, bicep curl. Up onto your tippy toes, back down, bicep curl. Oh, you guys are all naturals at this. I think I need to make it harder. Good, 4. Up onto your tippy toes as high as you can. All right, we're going to do 3 more of this one and then we'll change. And last one up into your tippy toes and bicep curl. All right, dumbbells down. All right, now we're going to go into our sumo squat again and our calf raises. So wide legs for me. Remember, it's 1 big squat and then 10 calf raises. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Big squat, up onto your tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 big squat. Back up onto your tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 big squat. Back up and tippy toes. 1, 2. So you should be starting to feel your calf muscles working, your leg muscles, and even the tiny little muscles underneath our foot. 2 more. 9, 10. 1 big squat. Back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Last one, guys. Last one. Big squat. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake your legs out. All right, from there, just to finish off with some upper body work, we're going to go into some wall push-ups, all right? So making sure you find your wall, we're going to bend down and push up. We're going to do 10 of these, all right? So off we go. 1, pushing down and then all the way up. 2. Good, so we're straightening our arms and then bending at the elbows. 3, 4, 5. Doing awesome, guys. Keep it up. 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. So shake your arms out, give yourself a little bit of a break, and then we're going to do another lot of 10, okay? So just shake your arms out. If you need to, do your shoulder rolls. All right, getting ready for our second lot of 10. Going back to your wall. Arms out straight. And off we go, going for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pushing up, good. 6. Use those arm muscles. 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. All right, back to the screen, guys. Grab yourselves a drink of water, have a bit of a break, and then we're going to go over some trigger pointing and how to release knots or the myofascia from your muscles. So have a break and we'll come back. All right, so if you guys just unmute yourself, we'll come back to the screen. I'll have a bit of a chat and then we're gonna talk about how to do the releasing. So Sabina, how did you find that?
Yeah, it was quite good. I tried a couple of different options, with the using the dumbbell one going, that one going forward,
The
and the
deadlift?
chair one, and the other one sitting down. I tried that, and doing the leg under the chair.
Yeah.
Couldn't really feel too much, so then I got up and I did the
Yes,
other one.
I did see that. That exercise was called the hamstring curl, and it is definitely a hard exercise to do with body weight. It's not impossible, but it's one of those exercises that you can feel it if you've got like ankle weights. That'd be a nice one to way to make it harder.
Yeah.
So if you ever have ankle weights, you could strap those around your ankle and do your hamstring curls, and you might feel a little bit more. But apart from that, it looked good to me, and I'm glad you did those changes just so you could feel. Beatrice and Colin, if you take yourself off mute, how did you guys go? I think you might still be on mute. I'll just see if I can.
How's that?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect. How did you go?
I thought I went quite well, actually. So I'm quite pleased with myself.
Oh,
Good.
But I'm feeling it.
in the legs?
Yes.
Yes, me too. My calves and my foot are on fire.
Yeah.
I think we did a lot of calf raises, and I was like, we need to stop. All right, but Beatrice, you did awesome, and I saw you were like keeping up, and you were doing all, when I gave you a few levels, you were choosing a level that wasn't too easy for you. You were challenging yourself, which is great to see.
Yes, thank you.
How did you go, Colin?
I found that the best stretching was the hands on the wall.
Yeah.
And I kept a little bit further away and kept my heels on the ground.
And that stretches out your calf.
I got better stretching that way.
Yeah, so that's one of the stretches that we normally do at the end. That would be this one. So when you're doing the wall push-up, Colin's talking about keeping his feet flat. And that's exactly what we do when we do our calf stretch. We lean forward. So you should feel that on your calves.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so I'll just go through a bit of quick education. So just around myofascial release, that's the stuff we were talking about at the start. When we've got, when we had a tight, a really intense workout, we can feel our muscles are quite tight. You can feel the lactic acid building, making those tight spots. You want to know how to relax your muscles. And again, if we use that sponge analogy, we don't want a dry sponge. We want a moist sponge. We want the muscles to be lengthened and working properly. So step one would be to choose the right piece of equipment for the area you wish to treat. So I've got a few here. All right. So these are foam rollers, and you can get them from Target. This is a really big one that you could use for your back or your quad or your hamstrings, so your legs, those big muscle areas. And you've also got a smaller foam roller, so they come in different sizes. Again, you can get these from like Kmart or Rebel or any of those sporting shops. Then for our I guess more nitpicky areas, you can have trigger balls, and they come in quite different varieties. So you can see this one's quite big and it's got small spots. If I squeeze this one, it's quite hard. And then this one is smaller and it's got larger spikes compared to this one, and it's softer and the spikes kind of mush around. So this is quite hard and quite intense for if you're feeling you've got tight spots, if you've got the knots. This one I would use on my back. So if I just quickly show you, if I had this ball, I could go against a wall, put it behind my back, and then I'm just moving around and trying to find the spot in my back where there's a knot, and then you just let it sink in, let the knot turn down from an 8 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10. So it will feel a little bit painful at the start because you've hit that, you know, tight area, and it will let you know. So you
I've got a yellow ball like that, a green one, but the same, and I've got the shorter roller, foam roller. I've got one of those. Yep.
Have you used them before?
Yes, but not very often.
Okay, so the big ticket items are for our big muscles, so our hamstrings, what we work today, and our quads. And then I'm sure have you used your trigger ball, the green one?
I have, yes, a couple of times on a little spot in the back, and did exactly what you did, and it does release it. It works.
Yeah, and at the start, was it a little bit painful when you found that spot?
Yes, yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nothing bad, but it just, you know, when you've found the spot, because you go, oh, all right, that's the
getting it and it's the spot.
Yes. So first point of call is to choose the right piece of equipment. Second, from there, you want to place the foam roller or the trigger ball on the side and then move around slightly until you find that most tender spot. Then you just want to apply your pressure as firmly as you can tolerate. And it will take roughly around 90 seconds to like 5 minutes to achieve full release of a trigger point. Each knot goes for a different amount of time. That's why we say it's somewhere between 90 seconds and 5 minutes, because some knots need a little bit more work than others, and some knots are quite easy to release. Once the trigger point has been released, you want to stretch the treatment area for 30 to 60 seconds. So we're going to go through just some quick releases. So I'm going to do the calf release first. So he has got a ball or a little foam roller and then the stretch. So if I show you guys this one, and bear with me while I move the camera around. All right. So this one is best to do without shoes, but because I don't have a half foam roller, and again, I'll send you through the diagram, I'm just going to use a trigger point ball, and I'm just going to see which one will be better for me. So for this one, you want to take your shoes off, and then we're going to work these muscles underneath our feet. So I'm just going to stand on this ball, and I'm going to move it around along my fascia until I find a point. So for me, it's right there. And I'm going to apply as much pressure as I can handle. And I'm going to hold it for a few seconds. So again, the time is 90 seconds to 5 minutes. And I'm not going to hold it for that long, but just to show you. And then you just want to keep moving it around, making sure you're getting all the knots out. And then from there, that's the release. The stretch part, you can do this one against a wall or an elevated surface like a step. All you want to do is you can put your foot against the wall and then lean forward to the wall, and I'm stretching out my calf. So you can do that stretch, or you can do the stretch that we normally do, which is one foot in front of the other, leaning forward and stretching out our calf, all right? So that's an example of how to use the release. So using a foam roller, using that trigger ball, and then going and combining it with a stretch so that you're getting that full effect. So I'm going to send you guys this diagrams, and they've got different examples. So they've got calf, they've got your foot muscles, they've got your hamstring and a thoracic extension, so the upper back. So I'll send an email now, but if you have any questions, let me know. How did that go? Did that all make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Sorry, it's a bit of an information overload today, but I will see you all next Tuesday. Stay safe this weekend. I think there's going to be a bit more rain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good